You got ready? Welcome to Don't Get Your Hopes Up. I probably should have warned you before I started doing that. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show.
Yeah!
We've taken a bit of a break. My name is Josh Allen, a.k.a. Lore, joined once again, as always, by Mr. Mike Baca, a.k.a. Mike Fony Baca. Mike?
God, man, my branding's a mess.
You have too many names, man. Too many names.
God, it's just too much right now.
You're like one of those people whose like Twitch profile is watch me at Super Awesome TV, and then like their Twitter profile is reallyawesome.com.
Oh,
and then their website is awesomeness.awesome.
God, yes.
Like the only, yeah. And then like their Instagram and their Facebook are both like, it's Jeff.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like someone's name or something. It's always, oh God.
Yeah.
Just wipe and just start over.
Yeah. Yeah, free advice for anybody. Don't do that. Pick a brand and make that be all your channels. Otherwise, people can't find you, and that's problematic. And if you can't
get almost all the channels, then just don't pick that. That's the wrong name.
Yeah.
Twitter is the only one you could kind of get flexible on. If you need to add like real something or IRL or AKA or Devo.
Well, my branding is Devo Lore everywhere, so that one doesn't even count.
All right.
But yeah, like it sucks when like a platform that has like it kind of happened with Instagram a little bit actually, where it was a platform that everybody kind of ignored for a long time because it used to just be like, this is how hipsters take picture of their food. And now it's still that, but there's also it's actually a platform with the highest engagement on it. Which is interesting marketing speech for it means all of your followers on Instagram are worth more than an individual follower on Facebook or on Twitter.
Or Twitter. Yeah, big time.
They are stickier and they will continue to follow your brand. But anyway, what that meant was a lot of people like didn't set up an Instagram until ages later. And so like when your name is something like Jeff Plays Games, turns out somebody else named Jeff also plays games. And so it sucks in those situations, but you should try to limit those as best you can. And yeah. So that's your unsolicited streaming / content creator advice.
There you go.
You can tell we have a lot of really great topics lined up when I immediately start the show off by derailing it.
It's going well.
Yeah. So you're at Pax South.
I am.
How's Texas?
Texas is a whole nother world, man.
It is like literally, it's the size of a whole nother world.
Yeah, it is. I
so
learned
are the
a lot.
people.
I came out here once when I was like 12, which didn't really count. But yeah, and I went to Austin, which also doesn't count.
Yeah, Austin is not Texas.
Austin is basically San Jose. Like I've been to San Jose. If you've been to San Jose, you've been to Austin.
Austin is
like 6th Street.
Yeah, Austin is Texas the same way Detroit is Michigan.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Or the same way Boston is Massachusetts.
Wait.
But actually kind of different because like I guess those two examples, it's because this is a giant city in a place of mostly rural areas. Mm-hmm. But in Texas, Austin is just like this weird Portland that somehow or another came down from Oregon and decided to hang out.
Wait, what the fuck?
Like Portland, it's like it has a lot of the same sort of.
I'm so lost.
Okay, listen. So here's what happened. So Portland, Oregon, went on a vacation and went down to Texas, had a little bit of a fling, and then left. But because everyone's exes live in Texas, Austin came up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, basically that. Basically, that's what Texas is right there. San Antonio is beautiful. Like I remember it being really, really nice because what I remember from the first time I was here, like driving through El Paso and it's all like desert and everything, and then as you get closer to San Antonio, it's green, it's lush, and it's really, really quite beautiful. The people, everybody I met is super nice. All of the Uber drivers, which I've taken probably 20 Ubers this past week, just going back and forth to the con and all that, and going out for drinks.
Shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that.
Why? Should have said what part?
No, everyone hates Uber now. But you don't want to talk about politics, so we're not going to go into it.
Oh my god. Like,
yeah, no. We're just for everyone's awareness, we are specifically avoiding politics in this show because there's been a lot of shit over the past few days, and just want to not for a minute.
There's a lot of stuff that happened in the past few days. I've caught pieces of it, and it's because I've been gone. Like today is my 8th day away, on the go. So I've been just completely out of time. I've caught things. I saw like the delete Uber thing. And I was like, yeah, how about I'm not going to do that until I get home. And then maybe I'll consider it once I see if it's a legitimate reason or if it's just people overreacting. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So, yes, I took 20 Ubers. Everybody was super nice. And nobody in any of those Ubers talked politics with me, which is awesome.
That's good.
But yeah, I learned a lot too. Like, I didn't know that
about Uber.
Not about Uber, but about Texas. Like, they're I don't know what the term is, like a dry state or a dry county. I don't know, but basically where they don't serve. So there's a couple things. Most, or maybe not, maybe all grocery stores do not sell liquor like vodka and whatnot, which is weird because I was in what I called Heb, and apparently I'm wrong. It's called HEB, which is really dumb. It should just be called Heb. It's much easier to say. And I went in there and I was looking around. And I didn't see. There was a bunch of mixers. It was like tonic and everything. And I went and asked the lady at the front. And I was like, "Do you guys have any liquor?" She goes, "Oh yeah, it's on aisle 1." So I was like, "Okay, weird." So I went to aisle 1. There was no liquor anywhere. And I think I figured it out with another Uber driver because I was trying to like straighten it out. I keep coming up. And we figured it out. The lady said the liquor because I think she just kind of generally associates like some alcohol like wine and such as liquor for some reason. And
Weird.
she was like, yeah, if you said hard liquor, that would have triggered. And so
I've heard that actually.
Yeah. So they apparently they have amazing liquor stores here, which I have not had a chance to experience.
Wow.
Because I ended up buying like a ton of like weird beer.
Failure.
Like this thing I'm drinking right now, it's called 8-Bit Pale Ale. I had to get it because it's got like a Pac-Man ripoff on the front.
It's called 8-Bit. Yeah, of course. You're at a gaming convention, like.
Yeah, have you heard of this?
I would have been. No, I haven't heard of it, but I would have been angry at you if you had seen something called 8-Bit Pale Ale and purchased it.
Yeah, I had to. I had no choice. It says right on the front. It says hop rocketed pale ale. Hop rocketed pale ale, and it is. It tastes like that. That's about the best description I could give it to you.
All right.
I also learned that El Paso is not part of the family here.
No,
it's not. Like if you pull up any list of basically anything outside of every city in Texas, El Paso's not on that list.
We're just trying to pretend it doesn't exist or something.
So it's like if you look up like popular cities or whatever, any kind of like summary of cities, you always get Houston, San Antonio, Austin, like Dallas, I think, and I think maybe something else, but like El Paso is always like left off. Whenever you talk to people about other cities, like where they're from or whatever, or places like other places when they refer to them for whatever reason, they never mention El Paso. It's like nobody gives a shit about El Paso out here. Mm-hmm. They would if El Paso if New Mexico just kind of reached around and just kind of gave El Paso a hug and just brought it in, nobody would give a shit.
I mean, isn't that where they make all the taco shells anyway?
It's the fucking shell. You're right. Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
Taco shells and like shitty salsa.
And no, wait. Well, no. The picante, the hot picante, is not bad. But you're right. All the rest of it's pretty bad.
Dude, you live in California. They have Tapatio up there. I promise. In the Bay Area.
Oh, are you kidding me right now? I have it like every day. Do you want to fight?
Okay. I'm just saying, if you have access to Tapatio and instead elect to get El Paso picante sauce, you are wrong.
You have to get salsa, like shitty salsa, for people that can't have real salsa, or that real salsa is too hot or whatever.
That doesn't make them less wrong, though.
But overall, it's great. This weekend was crazy. There was a cowboy dance hall dance-a-thon, or line dance-a-thon, or line something. I don't know. There was some kind of like event for cowboys that apparently like really popular here in San Antonio. This lady told me like, everybody knows about it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. She said, yeah, that was happening this weekend. And then I find out that Royal Rumble or something WWE related is happening this weekend, or happened today. So there's all of them. They're all there. Like everybody's in San Antonio, like in the same place, the same area. And then of course PAX. So it was just like there's just so much happening. San Antonio is just fucking bustling right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm noticing as you're talking about your experience at Pax South, you have yet to talk about anything at the actual convention.
Right. So.
And this was, I kind of wanted to ask about this because from my, I didn't go. I haven't really heard of anything interesting coming out of PAX South. Also, it's the end of January, which is the worst month for video game news ever because obviously like everybody has just announced all of their stuff for the holidays. Everything that was going to come out for the holidays has already come out. Nothing comes out in January because it's either A, it's so far not done that they can't squeeze it out.
Yeah.
And thus it's not going to be done until later. Or B, they did squeeze it out and it came out 2 months ago. So how's the gaming side of PAX South?
So PAX South is actually nice. It's quiet. Like it's not quiet. It's the word. It's
quiet because no one's there. No.
There's a lot of people, but it's
okay.
quaint. Like you walk in and there are no like towering Microsoft booths or EA booths or anything insane. Like there's no massive Twitch booth. Like everything is relatively toned down, and it's nice because I feel like it makes room for the like infinite number of indie games that are there. It is an indie game convention. There is so many. I just basically like to sample as many as I could. I just walk up, look at it, and if I thought it looked interesting, I take a picture of the booth and I walk away.
Nice.
There are a lot of cool looking games, and there's a lot of games that we already know about, like Dreadnought. Dreadnought was there. What else was there? Twitch was there with their like a smaller toned down booth. There was a game that it's funny. I was with Tanneros. You might know him. I was walking around with Tanneros and we come across this like medium sized booth, had a giant wall and a bunch of players inside, and the artwork on the wall. I said, hey, it looks like a combination of Overwatch and Awesome Nuts with the art style. And then we took a closer look at one of the guy's screens because it was kind of like taped off, so you couldn't really walk right up to it. And sure enough, man, it was fucking Awesome Nuts. Like it wasn't Awesome Nuts, but it was like a new game. It was called Hyper Universe. I guess it's a Nexon game, I think. And it looks like, and I hadn't had a chance to look this up myself to really verify, but from a distance, it looks like basically fucking Awesome Nuts. And I loved Awesome Nuts. And I was really disappointed in myself because I came into the game really late, so nobody was playing it. So I just basically played it by myself and was like, yay, it's great. And then that was it. But man, if there's another Awesome Nuts style game, I would totally be in. It's just a platformer MOBA. That's it. 2D side scroller. You could play it on your controller and just kind of chill, relax, and get shit on. Looks
That's
good.
how I like to spend my weekends.
But yeah, there were a couple of really good games there. Just interesting looking games in general. There's one that I want to check out a little bit farther because the description was hanging out with Man, last night, oh god, I got so fucking hammered past 2 days. Last night's the worst. Man, I have so many fucking stories. I really do have. All right. All right, so here's what happened last night.
Okay.
Let's just jump right into it. This is the This is the best story I think I have.
Get to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah. So I'm out drinking, and it's Cliff Anderson, Dark Forsaken, Tannerus, Woovie, Pocket, and like a bunch of other people were there, and we're just like drinking at some like small bar, and just having a good time, whatever. Then the place was supposed to close at midnight, and we were like, shit, we gotta find another place. But then the lady ended up like staying up and late, just for like the handful of people that were there, which it was a pretty significant amount because there was fucking nobody there when we first showed up at 10, right? And so we went, and so after they finally closed around 2, we're pretty fucking hammered. We ended up leaving, and then Woovie or Tan, I can't remember who, one of the two, got this idea like, oh yeah, you never had Whataburger? You gotta have Whataburger. And I was like, okay, sure. Like, oh yeah, the reason why I was down for it is because I checked Uber to see if how much it would cost. It was surging because right after 2:00, it surges really hard because everyone's going home, and so it would be like, oh yeah, it's $20 to get home when normally it's like $6. And so I was like, fuck that, I'll go spend the $14 on a burger. Perfect, It's like it balances out. we go to Whataburger, and there's a line like going down the block. And so we wait in the line. No big deal. It took probably 30 minutes or something like that. Too drunk to remember. We get to the front, and there's 2 cops that are there. And they actually turned away this girl that was right in front of us. They turned away this girl because she was stumbling. And they're like, no, you can't come in. Wow. And so they made her stay out there. And I guess her boyfriend, like, he went inside to get food, I guess, to go. And so we go in, and I go to pay. And I don't know how it happened, but... So there's 2 different perspectives here, right? There's my perspective, and then there's this perspective that Woovie explained to me because I was too drunk to really notice what was going on. So for my perspective, here's what happened. I went to pay for my drink, or to pay for my drink. I went to pay for my food, and I opened my wallet, and I pulled out $1, and I was like, I was gonna pay for $1. The only thing I had in my wallet was just $1, and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with $1? I was like, what? And I just kind of looked around. I was like, I can't do anything with $1. And I looked at the dude next to me, and he was like looking at me, and I was like, you want it? Like that. And he got pissed. Like, he was fucking pissed. And he was like, he goes, what, you think I need your fucking money? And I'm like, what? Like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, I don't need your money. I don't need your fucking money. And I can't remember what I said, but it was like the equivalent of like, oh, you're a big man or something like that, right? Like, oh yeah, like you're so whatever. Like, I basically just didn't give a shit. Like, what was he gonna do? There was 2 cops, like, seriously 10 feet behind me, right outside the door. Like, what the fuck was he gonna do? So he was like just pissed, and I was like, whatever, dude, go fuck yourself. And so I went to take a piss, and then we went and sat down. And then Woovie explains that what happened was the guy went to pay for his card, or pay for his food for him and his girlfriend, his drunk girlfriend outside, and his card was declined.
Oh shit!
And that's when I turned and I said, "Here, you need $1." And that's why he got so pissed, because he thought I was being like a huge asshole. It didn't give him the right to be like be a cock. But still, like, I kind of, at that point, I kind of understood. I was like, oh, yeah, I could see why he was pretty pissed off, because I look like a huge dick.
Yeah. Way to be an asshole. And, like, that's, like, extra dickish, because if you were, like, oh, he's having trouble with the money, here, I'll help out. He said, would you like $1? That'll cover it. I'm sure.
I got you, bro. I got you. And it was funny. We were talking, and then once Woovie explained it to me, he was like, "Oh my god, now the whole thing made sense." And it's even more. It's even more hilarious because he really didn't need the $1, clearly, because he couldn't. He's sitting there talking shit like, "You think I need your money? I don't need your fucking money." Clearly, you fucking do. Your card was declined, trying to buy 2 fucking burgers and a pop. Like, that's all you had. Nothing. You have no money.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was really funny.
So yeah, and then ended up getting home at like 4:00 this morning or something. And the only reason why I know that is because I think Woovie left a message in Discord like blaming me for like keeping us out so late or something.
It probably was your fault.
It probably was.
Yeah.
Maybe. Ugh. But it was great. Like it was great. This was a really everything about this trip was relatively chill. Like, you know, Pax South is it's small. It's small enough where you don't have to wait. Well, unless you want to play with the Nintendo Switch or something like that. Like, you don't have to wait in lines forever to play, you know, probably like 100 different games. And then you have the regular, the more common PAX experience, which is like, you know, tabletop and all that stuff that happens. And then you have, and then you're getting to hang out with a bunch of people that, I mean, there's a lot of people that follow us, both of us, that are in Texas. And so they all showed up, and it was great having drinks with all of them. And then, you know, giving that guy $1, and I did 4 photo shoots, but I didn't plan on that. Like, usually when you book a bunch of shoots, like half of them don't show up, and so I was like, yeah. So I set up 6, but one like bailed immediately. So okay, so I have 5. Only 1 flaked.
Wow.
And so I did 4 fucking shoots,
nice.
And I am just beat. All my backup drives are like full because I'm trying to back everything up, and it's just like I don't know where to put shit.
You guys, I had to look at way too many boobs. Oh, you guys. Oh, my life is so miserable. I had to hang out with 4 naked ladies. I'm Mike B. Oh, my life is the worst.
No, man. No, it's...
Jesus Christ.
Come on, man. That shit, it's a little stressful, you know? It's like you want to come up with like some kind of theme, you know? I don't want to just put them in front of a wall and just take pictures of them. It's so
stressful hiding my boner for like 4 hours.
You don't have time to get a boner. You don't have the energy for that shit. I'm like sweating fucking balls, and the girl's like the girl today.
That's my point.
My sweaty balls. Oh man, no, it was good though. Like, I got a lot of like really amazing, worked with a lot of really amazing models. Like each one of them was actually really, really good. So
nice. I saw. You put a picture on, was it on Twitter or something, with one of them had like this really amazing like tattoo work all down her side. It was really, really impressive.
Yeah, she's an interesting character. She's got a really, really great Snapchat. Like, what's that? I think it's like Winslow 39 or something like that. But I think she's hilarious. She sounds like Fran Drescher, like, but just like a half notch, like kind of tuned down a little bit. And she looks like, and she actually is an Amy Winehouse impersonator.
Oh wow!
So when she dresses up, like, she looks like fucking, it's creepy. And I misunderstood her when she was coming down, because she has another like alter ego thing that she dresses up as, and I was like, oh, you're gonna bring that thing too, whatever. And I misunderstood her response, and I thought she was saying, no, I brought Amy Winehouse, and I was like, I'm not gonna fucking shoot no like naked Amy Winehouse theme thing. I'm not doing that shit. There's no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was great. She's a go-go dancer, and I introduced her to fisheye lens and what it could do for your butt. She had no idea. Like, it was just like. So what I was doing was I was taking pictures from like the ground up, and I was telling her to kind of dip down, and we oiled her up so she's like completely like super shiny, right? And the light is just like all the specular lighting, everything is like all over the place, and so I had her like kind of dip down, and I would take a picture with my wide angle lens, and it makes, you know, wide angle, and the closest thing to the camera is going to be enlarged, right? That's the way they work. Or exaggerate, I should say. And so she was like dipping down. I was taking all these pictures and everything. I'd show it to her. She was like, "What?" I was like, "You didn't fucking know? Like, how did you, that's your ass. You didn't know that it could do that?" But yeah, no, it was good. Like, all the shoots were great, and it was a nice balance. It was like, go to the con, do a shoot, go out to drink. repeat. And that's basically
Yeah.
what I did for the weekend. The whole weekend, and it was fantastic.
Mike B, my life is miserable.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it actually. So it sounds. I'm actually a lot more interested in going to PAX South now because it sounds like the sort of PAX where, like, there's going to be a little bit less press. There's going to be a little bit less of the like super worried about what's the big game being announced. What are all the big announcements happening here? And it's more of just the hanging out with a whole bunch of other gamers thing, which is kind of like what TwitchCon ends up being for me.
Yeah.
And that, like, I fucking love TwitchCon for exactly that purpose. Like, I don't actually give a shit about walking around the floor at TwitchCon. I don't care what games are being shown off. Like, that's all shit that I can read online. But, like, when you go to TwitchCon, you're around just so many different people. You can meet all sorts of cool new people. You can hang out with people that you normally don't get to. So that actually sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's worth it. I'd put it on your rotation if you're looking for a nice, chill convention to go to and just hang out with friends and everything.
Yeah, I mean, most of the conventions I go to because of work, and I'm unlikely to ever go to PAX South because of work. Because, see previous note about January.
Yep.
But yeah. Have you heard about this this new PAX that they're starting this year?
The one?
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's like PAX North.
No. It's called PAX Unplugged, and it's entirely about tabletop games.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they're skipping, like, there's no it's exclusively tabletop games, nothing else whatsoever. It's gonna be in Philadelphia in November. Yeah. I don't know. It sounds
November.
interesting. Yeah, like November is a shitty time to have a convention because like holidays, so it's gonna have to be like early November.
Right. But there's also... Wait, yeah.
Oh, there's also yeah.
BlizzCon.
Yeah. Typically, I mean, we haven't announced, or as far as I'm aware, settled on. I don't find out the dates for those until we announce it. I literally read on MMO Champion when BlizzCon is going to be in a given year. But yeah, like it's been in November the last several years. So yeah, they've got a lot of shit to dodge. But then again, if it's focusing just on tabletop games, like.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and maybe that's less of an issue. Like Blizzard, we don't make tabletop games. I mean, we license some tabletop games, but that's kind of not what BlizzCon is about.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's interesting. Also, Philadelphia is a pretty cool area.
I've never been.
It's neat. I've been there once, and it was a long ass time ago. But there's a lot of history there. Obviously, one of the major like Revolutionary War cities.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's like Boston in that regard. Yeah, I would be interested to check it out.
I love Boston. I would love to go to another city like Boston. Like I went there and it was just like I got like all filled with patriotism and all that shit. Like I was like, wow, this is amazing, man. This is where it all began.
Yeah.
What's up? This is amazing. You know, I was just like
Yeah.
really taken by just like the just everything in Boston, especially if you're a bit of a patriot. And so, yeah, if Philadelphia is like that, then I will happily go and check it out, even though I don't really care about, games too much.
I went to Boston not too long ago and got filled with mostly beer.
There
are some amazing breweries in Boston. Oh, man. If you're ever in Boston again, you need to... Okay, hang on. So you need to go to Night Shift Brewery in Boston. That's just sort of a given. Anybody that does brewery tours and knows about breweries in Boston is going to tell you to go to Night Shift. Literally 4 buildings down from Night Shift Brewery in Boston, and this may come as a surprise to people who live in Boston, so I need to tell you everybody that I can about this place. There's a place called excuse me. It's a place called Bone Up Brewery. And they've got a very small, very cozy little tasting room, but like you walk in, they've got an arcade cabinet in there. They've got like pretzels, and they've got a whole bunch of different beers. Their like logo is a skull with a mustache. Their slogan is "made from ingredients." Like I fell in love with this place as soon as I walked in there. It was so good. So, yeah, Bone Up Brewing Company. Everybody, Bone Up. Yeah, check it out. It's great.
So that's anyway. It. Tomorrow I fly back, 5.5 hour flight.
That's not bad.
No, it's not. It's not terrible. It's better. It was better than stopping off anywhere. And yeah, 8 days. 9 days. I think tomorrow will be the 9th day. So I'll be very happy to get home and see the fam, and probably just sleep, because I don't get much of that. My wife's like, "Oh yeah, you should take advantage and of the extra time you have and go to sleep." I was like, "Extra time?"
Yeah.
What? No, nothing like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So what you been doing the past few days?
What have I been doing the past few days? Several things, actually. I restrung my guitars earlier today. Well, I restrung one of my guitars earlier today and then broke the other one, so I had to order some replacement parts. I broke
nice.
one of the pegs, the tuning pegs.
Oh,
so
gosh.
Yeah. Well, it's not that big of a deal. They're
You can
pretty
still
easy
tune
to
it
replace.
with like a needle nose or something, can't you?
Yeah, I could, but if I'm...
I know.
Like, I might as well replace the pegs, honestly, and I might as well not restring it in the one with the broken peg. So I just ordered some new pegs. I'll get it replaced. And
Just don't
it's
play
no
that
problem.
string, dude.
Oh yeah. Just don't play the low E string. I'll just skip that one.
You don't need it. You just
It's
need
unimportant.
one.
Yeah, just skip that one. Don't need it. But I restrung my other guitar. Played it a whole bunch earlier. My fingers are now cheese.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, which is good. I found my old this actually came. I was watching GDQ, and they had their Super Metroid race, and it reminded me that Super Metroid and the Metroid series in general is the best video games that have ever been created.
Yeah.
So first thing I did was I found my old GBA SP, my Game Boy Advance SP. I found it like just in a cupboard somewhere, plugged it in, it works. So I was like, okay. Ordered Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission off GameStop, because they still sell GBA games. Ordered those. While I was waiting for those to come in, because it's GameStop, so shipping was going to take like a week, I bought a USB SNES controller off of Amazon. And so now I've been playing Super Metroid.
That's great.
Yeah, I might check out AM2R. Which is a remake of, because Metroid 2 was actually a Game Boy game, because the Metroid series was weird because it wasn't ever really super popular in Japan. So Nintendo wasn't ever, they weren't super excited about the franchise, but it did well overseas. But what that means is that original Metroid was on the NES, Metroid 2 was on the Game Boy, and then Metroid 3 was Super Metroid.
Yeah.
And then there's been a whole bunch of games since then, and the canon is all weird, and the timeline is all over the place. Because
All
Metroid,
I know is something Mother Brain.
yeah, Mother Brain is around sometimes. Metroid Fusion, which was the, let's see, 4th Metroid game ever released, I believe, is actually the last one chronologically. So, yeah. But anyway. Played a whole bunch of Super Metroid, and then I got my Metroid Zero Mission and my Metroid Fusion in for my GBA. Works just perfectly. Played through Metroid Fusion. I've been playing through Zero Mission. Basically, my life has been Metroid lately, which is great because. So okay, hang on. Here's the thing. Super Metroid and Metroid Zero Mission are, in my opinion, the two best platformers ever created.
I agree with you, yeah. Super Metroid, because I played it, but not whatever the other one was.
Zero Mission is Super Metroid with slightly tighter controls, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a remake. It's an official Nintendo remake of the first Metroid game. But they went through, they up-resed all the graphics, made it basically Super Metroid style graphics, and just redid the whole game that way. And the controls are just ever so slightly tighter. Especially if you're playing it directly on the GBA, because it just fits that the way that you hold the controller really well. Yeah. So I've been playing that, and it's, my god, that game is so good. It's like still the same. It's just as good as it was ages ago when I used to play it and like do speed runs like while I was at work, like playing on my GBA SP. So yeah, been all about that Metroid lately. But I need to start replaying the Mass Effect series, because Andromeda is coming out soon, and I think I'm at the point where I might be willing to forgive Mass Effect 3 enough to actually try the stuff that they did after they first launched the game and the ending was so shitty.
So I don't think I'm gonna. I think you're right. Like with the new DLC that everybody says fixes it, maybe I could just learn to forget. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
like it's been long enough at this point that I might not exactly remember what it was. So when I get there, I go, oh, this is better than I remember. It's kind of my hope.
Yeah, right. It's very true. I probably won't go back and play the old ones only because it doesn't have any impact on Andromeda.
Yeah,
that I've read. Right, there's no impact on Andromeda at all.
Yeah, no, it's a totally separate series. I just kind of want to play the older ones.
Right. Yeah.
And like I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna play Mass Effect, you kind of have to start with Mass Effect 1 and carry that same character all the way through. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're just kind of because you obviously you get to points where it's like, and then this thing happened, and you're like, well, but it didn't happen in my head the way that I wouldn't have. I would never have killed the Rachni Queen. I would have totally have saved the Rachni Queen, and so on. Which ends up not mattering in Mass Effect 3, but whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to the multiplayer. Dark Forsaken told me that.
Oh, it looks pretty good.
That that multiplayer is gonna be coming, so I'm looking forward to that. Because ME3 multiplayer was great.
Yeah,
it was simple, but it was fucking hard, or it could be.
Yeah.
You know?
Like there's a lot of stuff about Mass Effect 3's multiplayer that a lot of other games have sort of mimicked since then. Of the whole like we're gonna give you a challenge, and it's like survival but not quite sort of thing, and it's going to get harder and harder as time goes on, and the farther you get, the better you're rewarded, and then those rewards can carry on and yada yada.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it because I just want more of that story type. Well, first it's still going to be the Mass Effect universe, right? So you're still going to have like most of the same races and all of that.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to that. I think the only thing we're not gonna have like keepers or anything because those are very, very specific. And I just want that story. Like I want to be able to go and have like an adventure in that world again. That's new, And if they leave us hanging or whatever, and there's like 2 other games, then I might be okay with it as long as this one doesn't suck. What's funny is that it looks like when you watch the videos, it looks like a Mass Effect game because. Not necessarily because of the art style and everything, and because it's the same universe, but because of the animations. Like it's like they're still using the same animations for a lot of the things, like some of the running animations and everything. And you've seen how their characters run, So it's like, okay, maybe. I hope that there's maybe some updates or whatever, because some of it was a little wonky, especially like during the cutscenes where it's up close and they start doing weird things while they're talking, the way they look around, But you might be able to overlook it if the story's good.
Yeah, there's some interesting sort of tidbits about the story that even even just from the trailers people have started to notice. So like your second in command in Mass Effect Andromeda is a biotic named Cora Harper, and there's another character in Mass Effect canon whose name was Jack Harper, who you may know better as the Elusive Man.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So there may be some sort of connection to the other series anyway.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is like the whole what bloodline does Rey belong to?
Yeah.
It's like, is she a Kenobi? Is she whatever? And it's like, yeah, I like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
Damn. I didn't know that. Fuck. All right. Well, I'm in. Now I'm excited. More excited than I was before. I was in before. Now I'm definitely in. I'm side-eyeing her all the time.
This is the thing about Mass Effect. Like, it's even with Mass Effect 3, like when we first got to the original endings and we had our crazy like indoctrination theory and how like well, what happens here is you actually do have to reject them and say that you're going to destroy the world because otherwise you're in the process of being indoctrinated and you have to like blah blah blah. Yeah, you remember that.
Yeah.
Man, I just love the sort of like crazy conspiracy theories you can come up with for Mass Effect. And like someone in my chat just pointed out that the Andromeda mission, it starts at the same time as Mass Effect 2 is going on, apparently. So that means that this mission is happening simultaneously with the Elusive Man and Cerberus doing all of their shit.
Wow.
So if you're second in command as I think it's Ryder is the name of the
main character, yeah, something like that.
The main character, yeah. If your second in command as Ryder is secretly like some sort of weird tie-in to Cerberus, dude, that's the kind of connection that I want for this thing.
Yeah, the cross connection between the different.
Yeah. And I don't want the connection where it's like, oh, you're running along and then all of a sudden Ashley shows up or something like that, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like, oh, and Rex is here. Hey, everybody, it's Rex again.
Shepard,
Ryder. Yeah. Like, I want it to be sort of like, oh yeah, there was a thing. Remember that thing that happened in the Mass Effect games? Well, it's carried over. The effects of that have rippled across, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's really, really interesting. And yeah, like Donis is pointing out in my chat, like there's cryo sleep involved in some capacity. So like it starts at around the same time as Mass Effect 2, but then ends up happening like way in the future or something like that.
Yeah, but it still makes sense to say that the mission starts during the same time. That still makes sense.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that this Cora Harper character, and we don't know any of this at all at this point, so this is all just conjecture and theorizing, but it's entirely possible that this Cora Harper has been put there by the Elusive Man for some sort of like super long game of we need to make sure that Cerberus is still around in 600 years. So here we go.
Wow, fuck.
Yeah. Dude, I'm fucking stoked for this game. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna buy the remote control fucking Mako or whatever it is? It's not the Mako, it's something else. It's like $200.
Oh my god. I'm surprised they didn't put in something in the game that like flew or hovered and made a drone, because that's the hottest thing right now.
Yeah. Let me find it again. It's just a RC drive around thing on the ground. It's not a drone, but it is. Where is it? I'm gonna find it here. There it is. The Nomad. Yeah, Nomad RC vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those. It doesn't come with a controller. You have to control it from your smartphone, which I hate RC vehicles like that. But
yeah, I haven't played one to really know, but I can just imagine that there's some kind of delay.
Yeah. I don't know though. Like I have an app on my phone that controls one of my lights now because I've started getting the like switches that connect to your Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah.
And that's fucking instant. Like I put my finger down and before I even realize that my fingers hit my phone, the light is switched off.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh man. Damn it. I'm gonna have to fucking pre-order this shit. I was just gonna wait till the last second and just buy it. Oh yeah, that's right, Mass Effect tomorrow. I gotta buy it. Like that's, but no. I gotta make sure I definitely get in on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gone from moderately optimistic for this game to no, I need to play this. I need this. I need it.
Mm-hmm.
I need it so bad. So speaking of brand new science fiction things that are just brand new and hot off the presses and exclusively brand. In fact, no one has heard of this before now. I finally went and saw Rogue One this weekend.
Oh man. I mean, wait. Yeah, no, it's not too bad.
It's been about It's been almost 2 months since it came out.
Yeah, if you just saw The Force Awakens, that's different. Like I know
Yeah.
people who are like, oh yeah, if I saw Force Awakens, I'm like, where the fuck have you been? Holy shit!
Well, and
But,
like
yeah.
Rogue One is not it's not an episode blank of
Yeah,
Star Wars,
yeah, yeah.
right? It's a Star Wars story. It takes place separately, which I actually thought was really cool. Like I was actually like you're watching it and you can notice the subtle ways in which they're like, this is not a Star Wars the blank movie, right? This is like there's no opening scroll, for example.
Yeah.
The text at the start, that doesn't happen. And there's lots of other things like there's no main character that really uses the Force. There's the one guy, but it's kind of even then it's a little bit weird.
Even then, it's like he's one with the Force, but like, is it doing anything, or is it just getting really fucking lucky right now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's pretty good. I liked it. It's pretty good. I noticed there was a lot more humor in it than in typical Star Wars movies as well, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
Like the fucking K2NO, the robot guy. Like this is how gullible I am as a moviegoer. Like as soon as I saw him, I was like, okay, this is the character they've put into this to inject some humor into the plot line. And he's just going to show up and say funny things from time to time, and he's just going to be funny pretty much the entire time. And that's exactly what happened. And I still laughed at it like every time.
Because the shit that he was saying was fucking hilarious. Like
It
was a funny character.
Yeah.
It was good. It wasn't like Jar Jar, where it's like, oh, this is a character that's gonna be the funny dude, whatever in the story. And every time he says something, you like roll your fucking eyes because it's like, oh, Jesus.
Like he was funny, but he wasn't comic relief.
Yeah. A lot of times he was just stating facts. Like,
he
wasn't trying to be funny. He was just stating things that were happening.
I'll be there for you. Cassian told me I had to.
Yeah, he was a good character. That was a good one.
He's a good character, yeah. Yeah, and I liked... I'm not going to spoil anything because there's multiple people in my chat who now are saying that they haven't seen it. And I don't think, being the guy who waited like 2 months to see the thing, I don't think I'm allowed to spoil it for other people at this point. But I thought the ending... I was actually really, really happy with how the ending went. I know it's getting a little bit of flack from people, but I was really happy with how it went.
There's no other way for it to end.
This is fair.
Yeah, that's how I kind of viewed it. It was like, we already know how things are supposed to happen. This is the way that's supposed to happen, and we got to watch it happen. And that was it. So for me, it was just like, okay.
That said, not a single fucking Bothan in this entire movie.
Oh, Jesus.
Where were the Bothans? They say, very clearly, many Bothans died to bring us this information. Where were the fucking Bothans?
I know, right?
Oh wait, hang on, I might be misremembering. Maybe that's from Return of the Jedi, and
oh, I don't know.
Maybe that's talking about the rebuilt Death Star, not the first Death Star.
You're getting your Death Stars mixed up.
I might be getting the Death Stars mixed up. Shit, I'm getting the Death Stars mixed up. God damn it. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay, no, we're good. No, we're good. No, we're good. All right. So what I'm expecting is another movie that comes up after. So we're getting the next like major episode in 2018. 2019, I want to see Many Bothans Die, a Star Wars story.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good action flick.
Yeah.
And if you have no idea what it is, what the story is about, because they do very clearly state what the story is about in A New Hope. But if you don't know what it is and you haven't seen it, then you're in for a real treat. Like I was talking to a couple like the week after that it had come out, and I hadn't gone to see it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, what do you think?" And I was like, "Well," and I said, "Well, you know the story, right?" And they're like, "No." I was like, "What? Really?" And they're like, "Yeah, no, we had no idea." And I was like, "Oh, well, I can't tell you anything then. Like, I can't tell you shit because you're like in the most fortunate place for anyone to be in to see this movie because you actually have no idea what it's about.
Yeah. I did think the CGI for Grand Moff Tarkin and Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, was a little bit uncanny valley. Mm-hmm. Like, Tarkin ended up looking a little bit like Gollum to me, which was weird. Mm-hmm. They have the same sort of, like... There's weird... They over-animate, I think, is the problem. Like, a human being doesn't dart his eyes around every 3 seconds, sort of thing. And it's almost like they're trying to make him look like he's human by adding in these different things he's doing. But, I don't know, it ended up being a little bit too much for me.
I agree. Well, we already spoiled that he's in the movie, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody.
No.
But the way that there's the first scene that they introduce him. And this isn't much of a spoiler at all, but they basically show him in the reflection of a window, right? You see his face in a reflection because he's looking out know, onto the fleet, and so you just barely make out his face. When the guy comes in and is talking to him and saying shit, I don't remember what he said, but he said something to piss him off. I mean, he's the kind of guy that gets mad about shit anyway. So he turns around and then starts walking around chastising the guy for whatever the fuck it was that he said, right? All of that walking around and all of that animation, like you said, it felt like it was too much. Yeah. If instead they just kept him looking out the window and just let him talk, and then maybe, for like an emphasis, just kind of tilt his head down and look kind of like side-eye, a little bit, and then say something, maybe that at the end. But just don't show him to us yet. Let us hear the voice. This is the same thing as the Jurassic Park thing. You know how they introduced the T-Rex? Have you ever saw that video and read all about all that?
I haven't researched introducing the T-Rex.
So the way it works in Jurassic Park is you don't really see the entire T-Rex until like the end of the movie almost.
Oh yeah.
Because first you hear about it, then you then the goat thing, like you put the goat in, the goat disappears, and then like the claw, and then the eye, and then the teeth, and then you see the whole thing. It's like there was all this stuff to basically put in your brain that this thing is fucking huge, and it is fucking mean. And so once you saw it, it wasn't necessarily a letdown. It wasn't a letdown at all, because in your head you're already like thinking, oh my god, it's every time it steps, it quakes and all this stuff, right? So if they took that same approach with him, that would have made it much more believable, I think. Because then by the next scene, when you get a more clear shot of him, or whatever the other scene was, you get more clear shot of him, that would have, I felt, had more impact, because now you've heard his voice, you know who he is in your head, you're kind of drawing it out, you know what his face looks like and all that stuff, and I think it wouldn't have been that bad by the next time around.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder how much of that was intentional and how much of that was just limitations of the time. Like, Jurassic Park came out in a time where if they wanted to fully animate a CGI T-Rex for the entire movie, that would have been prohibitively expensive.
Yes.
There was no way they could have done that. So as a result, they had to do, now you see an eye, now you see a claw, now you see him stomping, now you see a goat is just missing, sort of thing, right? Like...
And it was a smart way to kind of circumvent that.
And as a result, you end up with them maybe accidentally building a whole bunch of tension for something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like they could have theoretically done the Rogue One story in a way where Tarkin is just calling in on a communicator from time to time, and you just see like a little hologram of him or something, which is all distorted and shit. So it doesn't matter that he doesn't look like a perfect human being.
Yeah.
Like there's, it's an interesting thing to think. Like Star Wars is actually the original movies compared to the prequels is actually a really good way to illustrate that as well. Where George Lucas initially did a lot of what he did because, well, that was the only option, right? Like the original, the speeders. When they're flying around, the speeder that like Luke and 3PO and them are sitting in, and they're like on their way, and Obi-Wan, and they're on their way to Mos Eisley, on Tatooine. The way that he made it look like it was hovering above the ground was they took a camera, they smeared a bunch of Vaseline across like one strip on it, so that you couldn't see the wheels underneath the thing, and instead it just looked like it was this weird, like, distorted.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. Like on the lens, it wasn't directly on the lens.
I know the Vaseline trick, but I didn't know that thing had fucking tires.
Yeah. They like just smeared some Vaseline on like a pane of glass in front of the camera, and they just moved it along, and they made sure to move the camera exactly following the where the wheels were underneath the speeder that they were all sitting in. And that made it look like, okay, this thing is just floating along. But if they had the ability to do the special effects nowadays, and you can kind of see this a little bit in the remastered versions that they eventually came out with, where they added a few extra scenes in, you can sort of see these weird, like, and now they're going to just come up in here, and we put in a whole bunch of random aliens and shit, and they're just all, blah, needless extra scene that just shows off that we can do CGI. And now we're into the cantina. It was like, it kind of took away from the movie as a result. And then you see the prequels where it's like, we can have a fully animated Jar Jar Binks. Let's just do it. Why not? So, yeah, it's one of the reasons that I respect J.J. Abrams a lot as a director. Is he sticks very well. He sticks very, very, very strongly on the, if we can use a model, we use a model. If we can use a weird camera trick, we use a weird camera trick. We do not default to using CGI unless we absolutely have to.
Yeah, which is smart.
Yeah, and it makes a lot more, in a lot of ways, working around limitations is what makes something truly artistic. Yeah, no, it's great. So, Rogue One, though, it's a movie.
It is. And you saw it. And
I
you
did.
liked it.
Yeah, I'm very pleased that I somehow managed to avoid spoilers. Like, at all, on Rogue One. I don't know how.
Oh, man.
I don't know how. There's so many things to spoil in that movie. I don't know how I avoided them.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the overarching story. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
I thought you were being facetious.
No, I did kind of know. I did kind of know that the end result was going to be that they get the plans to the Death Star. Oh, come on. That's like
seriously.
That's like a 40-year spoiler. Come on, man.
No.
Statute of limitations on spoilers.
Hey, man, like
that's
exactly what I was talking about. Like that couple that I was talking to, they were like, they had no idea. Huh?
Star Wars: A New Hope was released in 1977. That is literally a 40 fucking year old spoiler. Hey guys, they get the plans to the Death Star.
That's but come on, man. This is different, I feel like. But whatever.
Yeah.
You're a jerk.
I don't think I am, though.
What else is going on?
Man, I don't even know. I'm choking to death at the moment. I just finished drinking a ridiculous beer. Actually, so you were talking about this 8-bit beer that you found earlier.
Yeah, it's called 8-bit Pale Ale. It's made in Kansas, in Manhattan, Kansas, actually. 5.2% alcohol by volume. And it says hops on it like 15 times. So I'm guessing it's a very hoppy beer. It's got a Pac-Man character on it. It's all the graphics on it are 8-bit.
Nice.
Except for the logo. Somehow they fucked that up. The actual logo is not 8-bit. It's like Impact. And yeah, it's I feel like this might be a beer that you would like.
Probably.
Yeah.
I like most beers. It's actually very difficult to find a beer I don't like.
Dude,
it has happened.
I last night we were at that bar. They had a bunch of like Texas beers, right?
Mm.
And so I went through and I tried like each one they had, because I wanted to taste, some of the more standard, more common Texas beers and just try them all. And so got a couple new favorites. I think I had never had a Shinerbach before, which is obviously everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have Shinerbach because it just it just never come across my mouth, which sounds terrible. Fucking A. But yeah, that's pretty good. But the other one though that I had right before and after it was Ziggerbach, Zingerbach. I don't know, something like that. I think Woovie is probably in chat. He might know. But yeah, that one was good. They also had like a Lone Star beer, which was okay. And then I think something else, but Ziegenbach. Thank you. God, I don't remember. I was drunk. What the fuck? Also, learned 2 more drinks. Tanneros was drinking, I think it was Jameson and Sprite. I never heard of that combination, but I tried it and it was really good.
Is that like, can you actually call it a quote unquote drink if it's just a whiskey mixed with Sprite?
I guess, but I mean, it's just like...
Let me tell you about this exciting new cocktail I heard. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I want a cocktail. I want a Jack and Coke.
Well, sometimes you have some Sprite and you just want to mix some shit in it, Like, so it was a mix I hadn't tried before. And what was the other thing that we had a couple of that tasted like... it tasted like Fruity Pebbles, man. Like, I don't know what it was. It was some kind of fucking mixed drink that was like blue. Somebody will point out. Woovie probably remembers. God, how does Woovie remember this shit? He was drinking. He was already gone by the time we got there. Fuck. But Scooby Snack. Thank you, Woovie. Yeah, Scooby Snack. That thing was fucking delicious. I'll have to remember that because I'll try and make that. It's fucking so good. Yeah, coconut, pineapple. Yeah, that's probably why, because I like pineapple and coconut, so that makes sense.
I want to read the description of this beer that I've just finished drinking because it's silly. It's a Baltic porter-style lager brewed with maple syrup and fenugreek. So that was what I drank.
A Greek?
No, fenugreek. It's a fucking herb. Jesus Christ.
Oh. I missed part of that, I guess. And then a Greek. I was like, what?
And then a Greek, yeah. My big fat Greek beer that I drank.
All right, well, that beer's gone. I should get another one.
I am similarly out of beer now.
I have to go through these.
Oh, yeah.
Because I leave in 10 hours.
Dude.
And I still have to pack.
Last time I went to Michigan, I on the first day there, I just bought a whole ton of beer. And then I went out drinking every night and never drank any of the beer that was in my hotel room. And then, like, the last day I was there, I was like, well, I guess I'll just leave this out on the counter for the housekeeping. Who wants a whole bunch of beer? Because, like, my flight was at, like, 5 a.m., too. So it was like, I have to get up super early, so I really can't drink.
Yeah, see, my flight doesn't leave until, like, 3 o'clock. But I have to be out of here by 10. But still, like, that's not bad at all. So that's why I'm thinking, it's like, it's only like, wait, let me look real quick. Hold on a second. Yeah, I can do it. It's like 2 more of these 8-bit things, and then 4 more Modelos. I got a whole wine bottle in the decanter right now because I was using it for a prop. Fuck.
So it sounds like what you need is some worms.
So what?
Some worms.
Yeah.
Like the game. You fuck.
Oh. I thought you meant, and I was like, but I can't. I can't play right now. Yeah.
Aren't you on Don't you have a computer?
Oh well, no. I have. I have a computer, but it's not a real computer.
It could play fucking Worms, man. Anything can play Worms.
It's a Mac. I'm not gonna play Worms tonight, I got a pack.
All right, fine.
Jeez. Wait, I gotta tell you about when I first I got to this. Thank you, Wolvie, for reminding me. So when I first got to the Airbnb, I have a whole house. Like it's basically a whole 1, 2, 3 bedroom house, and it's just me. And I did it because, I wanted the space to shoot. I wanted all these different scenes and sets and everything to work with. There's like a popping. Do you hear that popping?
Yeah, something weird's happening.
Yeah, that's strange. So I went to. I checked it. I got here and I just basically just I had to bang open the stupid fucking key lock thing to get the key out.
Oh, it was that kind of shoot.
No, because the key was locked in one of those little realtor lockbox things, and I had to jiggle it open to get the thing out because they didn't give me the code. They forgot to give me the code to get in. And I was going to stand out there in a relatively shady neighborhood, and with all my shit sitting on the porch. It just wasn't going to happen. So, anyways, I came in, and then 30 minutes later, the doorbell rings, and I open the door, and it's this guy, and he goes, "Hi, I'm here for the Airbnb." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, the Airbnb. Looking for," I think her name's Haley. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm the Airbnb." And he's like, "Oh, no, there's one in the backyard." And I was like, "What?" And sure enough, there's a fucking in-law quarter in the backyard, and he's probably out there right now sleeping. I was like, what the fuck? He goes, yeah, she didn't communicate with me what I need to do. And I was like, yeah, she didn't tell me that I was gonna have a backyard Airbnb neighbor. And so I brought him in. I was like, yeah, you want to come in? No, I don't want to impose. Dude, just come inside. She's like, you want a beer? He's like, nah. I was like, okay, whatever. And so we're talking, and I told him I was like, hey, I just want you to know up front, I'm gonna be doing a bunch of shoots here. And I'm going to shoot in the backyard because there's this metal siding thing out there that I want to shoot in front of. So I'm going to shoot in the backyard. So if you see a bunch of naked girls going out of here, I'm sorry, but... And he goes, oh, okay, yeah, cool, no problem. I was like, how about this? I'll just give me your phone number and we'll just communicate that way. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's I've been we've been basically tagging each other back and forth. It's hey man, is it clear? It's yeah, dude, go for it. Come on in. I don't care, and most of the models don't give a fuck, right? But still, it was just I had to coordinate with this poor bastard because he might walk into some titties on accident.
Oh man, my life was so miserable. Oh, I got this Airbnb and there was all these naked women everywhere. Oh God, what the worst possible thing happened to me.
Hey man.
Oh.
And so the God damn it, all these little things happen. Well, first let's talk about the shady neighborhood, and then remind me about the wood wall. Okay, so shady neighborhood. Before I go out, I went out last night, or night before. I was pre-gaming. I was like, okay, I gotta get out of here. I gotta leave. And so, but I didn't want to leave everything out because it was all out in plain view. If someone were to break in, they could just bring a fucking backpack or use one of my cases and just dump everything in it and walk out with thousands of dollars worth of shit, right? And I didn't want that to happen. So what I did was I walked around the house and I hid everything in various little cubby holes and in the pantry or whatever, behind some stuff, here's a lens and here's a whatever, and I basically put shit all over the place, all over the house. Then when I get to the end, I put everything away. I'm like, yeah, no, everything's hidden. The only thing that they can grab is like 2 shitty flashes, and then they have to search for other stuff. Then I realized I didn't remember. I was like, oh yeah, I should take pictures of everything. And then I lost something like immediately because I forgot where it was. Did you fucking leave and come back? I fucking knew it. I'm sorry. I didn't fucking know it. I heard the beer. Well, I'm not repeating the story, but just laugh.
I could hear.
Just laugh.
I could hear
no, just
some
cool.
of
Just
it.
laugh.
I can hear some of it.
But just laugh. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it was funny.
And so it was great. So yeah. But I found it, and I took pictures of where everything was, and then it worked out the next day. So,
Nice.
anyways, now I'm shooting with Winslow, and we get her like crazy oiled up, and she's basically dripping baby oil all over the fucking place. And we're doing those shots. This is the girl that didn't know that she had a butt. She knew she had a butt, but didn't know what kind of butt she had. And so we're doing a shoot, and everything's like fine. We do the shoot, whatever. And then after we're done, I noticed that on this wall there are all these little like almost like McDonald like bumps, the McDonald logo style like bumps all the way down. And it's her fucking ass, man. Like she had left oily ass prints all the way up and down this fucking wall. And it was so obvious from certain angles that this morning I had to actually go through and like get a rag, put some baby oil on it, and fucking like polish the whole wall to make it blend in. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had to polish butt prints because I had a girl dancing and bumping her butt in the wall, and it was all oily and stuff because we got her all oiled up. Yep. That's the story.
Good job.
Oh, man.
Well, good.
I think we're good because I had a pack.
Yeah. And I need to drink this beer. I mean, I need to go get a beer from the fridge.
I just hear
which I have not been to recently.
Oh, man. All right, well, good show.
Yeah, we did the internet pretty well.
Is this the first show of the year?
It might be.
I don't remember. Oh, whatever.